How are you all doing, all right? Thank you for sticking around. How exciting are those weigh-ins, right? So we did a show where we went out and got taken to Vegas, and I'm saying this from the heart. You guys, compared to Vegas, they make no noise when the weigh-in happens. I'm getting all nervous about tomorrow night. I don't know about you lot. Those guys out there, they're the ones who have to strip the weight, not me. We come to a Q&A. The main thing about the Q&A, it's about you guys and it's about these 5 fighters, okay? So it's very simple. We're going to get them out. We're going to ask them a quick question. But once they're all out there, there are microphones just up here. In fact, I can't quite see them. We've got 2 microphones, one here and one further at the back. And then on the other side, exactly the same thing. If I can't see you, but point roughly towards where the microphone is, be polite to each other and just take it in turns. We will ask as many of your questions as possible. In addition, there should be a ticker going along the bottom of this screen or something that says hashtag. If you want to tweet in your question because you don't want to go to a microphone, we'll catch the question and fire it to the guys. So we've gathered not 4 as we usually do, but for this event, 5 of the best fighters on the planet. They're UFC superstars. Let's get them straight out. So first up, we're very lucky, fresh out the tough house, fresh from his victory in the Ultimate Fighter 19 series, middleweight Eddie Truck Gordon. You come to the end, good to see you. So just very quickly to get us underway, what's changed in the last couple of weeks?
I'm here in Dublin, which is awesome, and I want to be Irish after this weekend.
I'm asking on behalf of everyone here, have you had a pint of Guinness yet?
I've had too many pints of Guinness.
That is the correct answer. Your questions in just a minute to Eddie. Next up, an English fighter we know a lot about. Please put your hands together for the big slow himself, Luke Barnett. You're next in line. How you doing, big guy? I'm well. Just a very quick one to open. 8-fight winning streak. The last one we saw you at didn't go your way. There's talk about the decision. No one quite agrees with it. Where are you at the moment? Now there's been a bit of a chance to relax after the Strickland fight.
I'm reevaluating and looking to fight again in November. So I'm just doing my thing. Been on holiday for the last month, enjoying myself. Here in Dublin, enjoying myself, and then hard work starts Monday.
So back in the octagon in November. Okay, that's Luke. Same again. Queue up, ask your questions. Next up, let's just say he's a very, very highly ranked featherweight. Bring him out, here comes Swanson. Hey, Crub. We put you in the middle. Good to see you. Grab a seat. I would imagine some of our guests here might ask about another fighter later on. That's up to you guys. I want to ask, just tell us at the moment, 6-fight winning streak, you must be feeling on top of the world.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a long, hard road to get to where I'm at. And, I was just happy that I got the win and I'm out here on vacation and having a few pints.
Okay, the next fighter we're lucky to have with us. You may remember back at the O2, he fought Alexander Gustafsson. Hopefully he'll offer us a bit of an insight into that big matchup between Jones and Gustafsson. Plus tell us about how he is doing as we want to welcome him back very soon. Please put your hands together for the poster boy, Jimmy Manuwa. Good to see you, Jimmy. You're going to sit there next to Cub. If one of us is going to take a waistcoat off, by the way, it will be me. I just need you to know that. I'm not going to compete. Jimmy, tell us where you're at. 14-1. The last fight was a good fight. Didn't go your way, but we want to see you back. When is that likely to be?
I'm looking to come back maybe September, October, and waiting on an opponent to confirm the fight.
So you're ready to go, we're just waiting for the matchup?
Yeah, 100%.
Looking forward to it. Okay, again in 1 second, your questions to these guys. Now our final guest is a man who loves it here as much as the rest of us. He started The Ultimate Fighter. You can ask him a question or two about what happens in the years in between. There are a number of people in the UFC, the fighters on the roster, who go after being in the Hall of Fame by their first name only. I'm going to introduce him like this. Forrest. So, Forrest, your knees are getting you up the stairs. It's good to see you can make it up the stairs still. Where's the comeback joke?
Yeah.
How are you getting on, Forrest? We haven't seen you for a while.
The comeback to where I can walk upstairs naturally, yes. Working on that.
Well,
I was just working my river dance a second ago. It's not good.
Are you going to do the river dance?
I mean, I just tried. It wasn't... See, just that hurt my knees. Just that. I think I'm
Twitter
injured.
goes crazy. Right, guys, it's up to you. The questions
I'm
can come
pulling
in
out
Twitter.
of my imaginary fight just from that.
We're going to start with a very patient young man who has been stood there. Please tell us your name, where you're from, and who you want to ask a question to.
Nate the Great.
I'm Nate the Grey. And I have a question for my friend Jimmy.
Yes.
You remember me?
Of course I do. I can't forget you.
People are saying that Conor is talking his way into a title fight, but he works hard, and I know as soon as you sign that contract, you have to work hard. So what do you think? Do you think Conor deserves a title fight? Maybe after this fight or the next one. But it doesn't, it matters on the fighter. You could have 1 fight, 2 fights, 3 fights, 10 fights. It doesn't matter. Like, when... It doesn't matter when you're ready. Like, I think Conor's ready.
So Jimmy, let's obviously say he wins tomorrow. Is he ready for a title shot?
Conor's a great fighter, and he's proved that in all his fights. And we'll see after tomorrow. I think he's 1 or 2 fights away from the title, definitely 100%.
Nate, if you'll allow me to pass that question on to Cub. Same question to you, Cub. Gotta do it.
Well, I've only been here a couple days, and I've already heard about Nate the Great, so I'm glad to meet you, buddy. But yeah, I think he's a great fighter, and you know, like all of us, there's 60 guys in the division. I think he's moving his way up the ranks pretty quick, but I think he's a few fights away, maybe 2 or 3.
Nate the Great, thank you for opening us up. In fact, if we go to the gentleman in the stripes, please step forward and we'll move across in a second. So far away. Your name and your question, sir.
Hello, my name's Brian. I'm from Armagh. Just a quick question out to Luke. Luke, did you ever get your Audi?
Not yet. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. Not yet.
And just a quick shout out to Forrest. My mate Gareth says you owe him a pint from London.
Wait, yeah, I think that's true, actually. Sorry about that. Well, I thought I was like quasi-famous and didn't have to pay for stuff anymore.
Okay, we're going to move across to you. Fire away microphone on the right-hand side, you.
Question for Luke, please. What's it like being in Ireland when nobody likes you?
Oh! Oh!
It's tough.
Google Glass, delete.
Definitely delete. Actually, the people here have been really good to me until that question. So It's been great so far. I'm doing all right.
Okay, gentlemen there with the grey top. Tell us your name and who your question's for.
Hi, my name's Dan, and I've got two questions. First one's for Luke. I've heard a lot on Twitter that you're looking at Wanderlei Silva as your next match. Have you spoke to Chael about that?
I have spoken to Chael about that. We had a long conversation about it, and it's one of the reasons I want the fight is for Chael, indeed.
Okay, cheers. And the second question is for Eddie. From what I hear, you train with Chris Weidman. What's it like to train with such a legend?
Oh, man, I definitely train with Chris. He's the reason I got into the sport, and I'm very, very fortunate. Not everybody gets to train with the middleweight champion in the world, so it gives me a huge, huge boost and huge confidence every time I step into the octagon because right now I'm not fighting him, so it gives me all the expectation to go in there and dominate no matter who I'm fighting.
Do you ever foresee a time where you may potentially fight Chris down the line?
Not many people know, but I know Chris, literally almost, since we were in 6th grade. So it's a lot different from most fighters who just meet a guy in a training camp. He's truly like a brother and family to me. So I would never fight him but my goal is to have the UFC championship belt. So if that means I have to go up to 205 or go to 170, I'll make the sacrifice and make it happen because, I want to make
What? I'm sorry.
I'll make it happen.
It sounded like you said 170. Sorry.
Cheers.
Okay, next up to the microphone. We're going to stay with you, sir, with the black T-shirt on. Fire away.
Thank you very much. Hey, this question is just regarding the emergence of Conor as a star in the last few years. I just want you guys' opinion. Anyone can take this, by the way. And congrats, Eddie, on the win, by the way. Thank you. How important do you guys think it is for emerging fighters especially to really stand out as not necessarily as a character, but as a personality? Because we've seen with guys like Conor, Chael in the past, Chuck. How important do you guys feel that is for emerging fighters nowadays?
I guess I'll take this one first. Since I just became Irish, this weekend. You know what? I think McGregor's he's awesome for the sport. Whether you love him or hate him, you want to either see him get knocked out or you want to see him win. Obviously, everybody here wants to see him win. So it's going to bring attention to the sport, and that's only going to benefit all of us. So I think after today, I'm a fan because I got goosebumps. I want to fight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you on the left, sir.
Yes. Hi, Stephen from Dublin. First of all, Forrest, thanks. First of all, Forrest, on behalf of everybody, thanks for one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life in the cage. To any of the fighters, we all know that the Gracie's completely changed cage fighting with their style of fighting. Sorry. MMA. But anyway, do you think any other fighter has done the same thing with the style of the fighting in the last 5 or 6 years?
That was a question for me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Jones is actually kind of changing the game. He's doing things that... Well, John Jones does things that I did like when I was 20 and my coach was like, that's stupid, don't do that, it'll never work. And then he makes it work in, live, full-speed situations, which is ridiculous. Like, how does he spar spinning elbows or spinning kicks? I don't know. If my sparring partners did that, they wouldn't be my sparring partners or my friends.
Thank you. We're going to stick with that microphone. Please tell us your name and who your question's for.
Hi, mine's for Cub. Well done on your win over Jeremy Stevens. Very exciting fight. What's up next for you now with the whole Aldo sitting out buzz? And are you going to fight?
Well, I'm just waiting to find out what's happening. I literally don't know what's going on. So.
I don't care who you fight. You're always entertaining.
Well, thank you. I just like to fight. I think if you guys see me fight before, I don't care who it is. I just love to fight. I love to entertain the crowd.
Thank you.
Okay, back across to you, sir, with a UFC black T-shirt. What's your name first?
My name is Jack.
Welcome, Jack. Who's your question for?
I've got a question for Forrest. Do you think that with Aldo's injury, do you think that Conor should get a fight against Chad Mendes in the near future?
You know, it doesn't matter what I think, but Conor thinks he should.
Forrest, would you mind getting into a picture later?
100%.
Thank you very much, Forrest.
I mean 100% on mine. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you, Forrest.
Thank you. Just while we have you, Forrest, just briefly on tough. You know, it all started with you. Has it got tougher? And, you know, where do you think Eddie is in terms of, at the same time back when you were fighting,
Well,
was
yeah,
it on
in
a similar
fighting
level?
in general, my old boxing coach told me a story. He said, you know, talent goes where the money is. There's money, fame, popularity. There's a lot more people training, like better athletes training MMA. You know, it's football, basketball, soccer. Guys used to, or football, again, as you call it. Guys used to just, you know, that's what you see on TV. Well, now kids today, you know, train MMA. These jerks, they're much better athletes than the first guys that did it, you know? So the sport has evolved. I think, you know, this is kind of that apex moment for the sport as it's become so popular that so many good athletes have done it for so long, and it really sucks when you're old and you watch these guys do things you could never do in your prime. It's sad.
There we go.
I'm going to cry.
We'll come back to you shortly, Eddie, and I'm sure these guys want to ask you the question. The guy with the question mark, you're asking a question. What's your name?
My name is Ryan. Sorry I lost my voice a little bit, but I got a question for Cub Swanson and Eddie Gordon. Cub Swanson, what would you do different against Jose Aldo that other people haven't done if you get the fight?
Well, bringing up my fight with him the first time, I'd do everything different. But I think I'd love to box with him. You know, I think all the fans want to see a stand-up war, and that's what I'll bring to the table. I think a lot of people try to take him down. I'm down to bang.
All right, and a question for Eddie Gordon. What do you see in your near future for the UFC?
I see a lot of tough fights, man. The 185-pound division is stacked, you know, but I want to rise to the occasion. I just want to fight the best guys, the biggest names. That's my goal, you know. I want to be number one. Chris Weidman, I got a long way to go before Chris Weidman, man. I'll take that fight. I'll take any fight.
Well, you're great, and I'm sure you'll do great.
Okay, well, thank you for your question. We're going to come back across to you. Fire away.
How's it going? My name's James. I just want to say I respect every one of you on the panel. I think you do a great job. Athleticism is, I think, a very applause or not. Let's go, Conor McGregor. Go on.
I'll throw that one to Jimmy. Guy with a T-shirt with boxing on it. Fire away.
How you doing? My name is Colin from Limerick. I just have a question for any of the lads that were in The Ultimate Fighter. We heard a lot of people come out of the house and say that they were given unfair treatment by the editors and stuff like that. Do you think any of you or the guys you were in the house with had any problems and were shown in an unfair light?
In my opinion, definitely not. I was on the Ultimate Fighter 17 and I watched it back, and I feel like it happened and was shown exactly how it happened. So for my season, we were treated great and everything was fantastic.
I gotta agree with Luke on that. You know, I'm definitely a loudmouth, and I don't mince any words. You know, so speaking of myself in the actual, you know, Tough 19, I think they portrayed us right. You know, they didn't ever scripted anything. Everything was how it came out. It might have not showed the full story because you only got an hour, but they definitely reflect us the right way, you know. It's our job as fighters to brand ourselves, and I think they do a good job of doing that.
No, stop clapping. Stop. It's absolutely a hatchet job in the editing room. I was way funnier than they portrayed me. And I didn't cry quite as much. They showed the same crying scene multiple times.
That's a great question. I want to keep it in the house for a minute. We've got a great match-up tomorrow with Carl Pendred and Mike King. You know them both well. You've been in the octagon with them. How do you see that one going, and where do you see the fight is going to be won or lost?
That's I think that's gonna be an awesome fight. That might be fight of the night, man. I know Cahal is a stud. He's in his hometown, and I'm talking to him like we have a good relationship, and he doesn't seem. What I said, Cahal. Call.
Taxi for Gordon.
Yeah.
Taxi for Gordon.
Yeah. Pendred.
Cahal Pendred and Mike King.
Pendred. I feel like he's a tough fighter, man. I feel like he's gonna try to push Mike up against the cage and grind him and kind of break his will. Mike's the bigger fighter, not today. Pendred weighed in bigger than him, so I feel like he's closing the gap on that. But it's gonna be an exciting fight, man. It's a tough one to call. I'm here and I was able to fight both guys, and they're both legit. So the ultimate thing here is gonna be the fans. They're gonna win this one.
Good call. We're going to go straight over to you, sir. Step on up. Fire away your question. Tell us your name first, please.
Hello, how's it going? My name's Eamon. I'm from Tyrone. I have two questions, if possible. One for Cub, one for Forrest. Cub, first question is, Conor, sorry to sound like a broken record, but McGregor talked about this week him being the undesirable fight in the featherweight division, that no one wants to fight him. He's ranked number 13, but he's the best division. I think so anyway. Do you think, is there a fear? There's a talk at Dustin Poirier and stuff didn't want to take the fight when Cole Miller stepped out. Is there a fear there, and where do you think that you could beat him if you were to fight him?
No, there's no fear. Like I said, Conor McGregor is a tough guy. There's many people that have asked to fight him, but
those aren't the lines I gave you.
Yeah. But I think Conor needs to just take one fight at a time and worry about the fight in front of him.
Thanks. And for Forrest, lately the light heavyweight division seems a bit devoid of talent and a bit of character. Is there any way you can be coaxed into coming out of retirement, and what sort of fight, or who would you like to fight if you did?
That is a great question. Right. Yeah.
So it's short.
Do you guys actually want to see people that are good at fighting? Because, if you want to start a fat drunk league, I'm down. But, as far as, talented athletes, I'm done.
And lastly, it's Cahill. Cahill Pendred.
Carl. No, guys.
Cahill.
You guys are getting confused. The American translation is actually Carl.
Right, man in the white with the black stripe. Your name and question, please.
I'm from Dublin, and I've got a question for Cobb and a question for Forrest. First of all, Cobb, I was watching the fight against Charles Oliveira live one night, and it was one of the strangest knockouts I've ever seen. You hit him with the overhand, and he kind of stood there for a minute and then suddenly just collapsed. I was just wondering what was going through your head when he was looking at you and suddenly just hit the deck.
Well, yeah, that one confused me too. But I think what happened was I hit him to the body, and when you hit somebody hard two places, sometimes it just takes it out of you. So I hit him to the body. I think that hurt him, and then when I hit him to the head, I think he just kind of decided he didn't want to fight anymore.
Thanks.
Thank you for the question. We're going to go straight across to you in the red shirt, please.
My question's for Eddie. Eddie, it's Andy from the airport. Are you still on for later?
Yes, indeed. We're definitely going to meet up and have a pint or two tonight.
Yeah, that's it. Where do you want to go?
Listen, I'm following your lead. You tell me.
I don't mind. Are you hungry? Do you want to get food or do you want to get a drink?
I'm always hungry.
I'm going to call it just a quick timeout. This guy's got a question, and just in case you came into the wrong studio, this is not blind date, okay? But thank you. Your second question, sir.
Just the question for Forrest. First of all, Forrest, I remember I bought UFC Undisputed 2010. It was the first UFC game I ever played, and I had a lot of free fights on it, and one of them was you and Stephan Bonner. And I remember by the end, I think I watched that fight more than I played the game. It was honestly one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my life. But the question I have is, would you rather fight Stephan all over again, or go down scrap in a field with Big Joe Joyce? That's the real question I have.
The kickboxer, wait, did he just ask if I wanted to fight a 115-pound female? Wait, what was the question?
That's a foul show. Forrest.
Wait, yeah.
I was talking to him, and apparently he had a little video going for you, and he said you were nothing but shite in a bucket now. So
So, you remember I mentioned that old boxing coach that told me about talent and money. He also told me anything you're good enough to do, you don't do for free if you can get paid to do it.
Okay, we're going to come back across to you in the white, please.
How we doing? Mark from Dublin. I have two quick questions for Forrest. Firstly, thank you very much for all your amazing fights. You're an absolute legend of the sport.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for my last name. Because without you, I couldn't walk around the States and pretend to be Irish.
That's it. Firstly, you fought one of the greatest fighter of all time, in my eyes, Anderson Silva. Do you think
I was hoping you'd bring that up.
Yeah, well, someone had to.
Nobody actually had
Someone
to.
had to bring it up.
It really didn't have to be
After
done.
his...
You know the thing about honesty? I found the key to a healthy relationship is the lack of honesty. A white lie is okay. Like, for instance...
Well, I have an honest question
Hey, how was
about
that for you, honey? Oh, that was great. Thanks. You get what
I get you. Do you honestly think Anderson Silva can come back and make a run at the title after such a devastating injury?
Well, no, I honestly think the injury wasn't that severe. It was a bone. Bones heal easily. He's got a plate in it. It'll be stronger. I think he can come back. I don't think it's the injury. I think it's the 38 years of training martial arts. And I think the division is stacked right now. I think there's a lot of people he can beat. And I think he will come back and win fights. But I do not think he'll be the champion.
Okay, thank you. And secondly, any possibility I can get you I can get you down to my gym on Sunday morning for a training session?
Sunday morning?
Absolutely not.
Thank you anyway.
I'm not even going to pretend, no. But thank you.
Sunday morning after a Conor McGregor fight night, and he's going to turn
why
up.
not? Pro Fitness Malahide, if you want to come down.
Half price if you speak to him. You in the red, sir, your question and your name, please.
How you doing? My name is Barry. My question is for Cub. Cub, obviously you're looking for a title shot and you're looking to see what's going to happen with Aldo and Mendes. You're looking forward, but we're all about Conor McGregor. Now, Cub, if the UFC was to say to you tomorrow night after McGregor wins, I know you've been dancing around it a small bit and maybe you don't want to give it away, but would that be something that you'd be open to?
At some point in my career, I will punch him in the face, I promise.
And what if they offered it to you tomorrow night after he wins?
My number one goal is the title fight. That's what I've earned. I actually fought a lot of people, won a lot of fights.
Of course.
And I earned it, So that's what I'm focused on.
Of course. Thanks very much, Cub. Appreciate that. Cheers.
Okay, we're going to, you go for it. Stick with that microphone. You go for it, and then we'll come back across.
Hello, my name's Aaron from County Clare. I have one question for Forrest, one for Cub. My question for Forrest is, you come out to shipping up to Boston, but I heard an interview that you prefer to come out to Muse. I was wondering if you want, is that your favorite band or whatever?
If I wanted to take it back and undo it? No, no, Shipping Out to Boston was my song. I like Muse a lot, but I don't want to come out to them.
And,
I can't really think of a good song. It's kind of mellow and this is really soulful. I don't want to fight, man. You want to go I don't know, eat some munches? Go ahead.
And my question for Cub is, can I have your hat?
Man, I knew someone was going to ask me.
Please.
I got 300 getting made right now, and I will send you one, I promise.
But I want that one.
Oh!
There's one problem. This one smells like me. I don't think you want it.
I'm okay with it.
But that's creepy.
How about
this? If you
this?
give the hat, I'll support you when you fight Conor. I was only lying, but...
No chance now.
You've blown it. We're going to come back across to you. Your name and your question to the guys.
How's it going? I'm Jamie from Dublin.
Welcome.
This question is just for all 5 years. Just I read on the Underground a while ago, Tim Kennedy said
that he knows at least 50 guys taking performance-enhancing drugs. I'm just wondering if any of you have an opinion on that, and do you think it should be stricter testing during training camps?
All right. Yeah, there's a belief that a lot of guys take drugs. Here's what I've found on both sides of the industry. The guys that take drugs usually fail drug tests sooner or later. The testing system works. You know, all the guys are like, hey, I wonder if that guy takes drugs. They seem to fail drug tests sooner or later. You know, you see the guys fail tests, you know that the testing works. What's that? So, in essence, is there a question? I have answers, obviously.
On that, Jimmy, just to you, you're still, very much active in awesome shape. Have you ever been tested, and what is the process? Does someone knock on the door? Have you not been tested?
Yeah, we get tested before and after the fights and everything, and I believe that all fighters should be tested all of the time.
Do you think you should be tested during training camps consistently?
100%, yeah.
Thank you for your question, gentleman there, and then we're going to come back across. Your name and your question, please.
Hiya, my name's Alan. I'm from Yorkshire. This is a question for everybody. This is a question for everybody, starting with Forrest. If you could get one celebrity in Octagon with you to smash them up, who would it be and why?
Wait, what was that? If I could just assault someone?
Yeah, that's it, Forrest, yeah.
You know what? I would make it competitive. Hey, Kanye's good people. We're tight. We're friends on Instagram, for Christ's sake. I'm going to go with my old answer. I would make it fair, so Bill Maher and Bill O'Reilly.
Whoa,
They're both morons. I would beat them both up because they're just for general stupidity.
Jimmy, please.
Jimmy, theoretically, were you to offer a beat down to a celebrity to answer this question?
Who's the guy giving these fights out, by the way?
Yeah, probably Jedward, yeah.
Jedward, Cub, we're going to answer this gentleman's question. Anyone out there who you generally don't like and want to fight who's not part of mixed martial arts?
Anybody from the Jersey Shore.
I've got Justin Bieber. That's the guy I'd like to be up.
Eddie.
Whoever's not allowed us to fight in New York.
That's a good question.
Luke, who told you that you were fancy dressed tonight?
Nobody. Well, what's wrong? What's wrong? Nice shirt.
You know,
Okay, gentlemen in the blue, what's your question and your name, please?
How's it going? I'm Ryan. I'm from Belfast. Cheers, lads. Initially, I'd just like to say, Forrest, welcome back to the homelands.
Thank you.
And this is for anybody down there. With Bruce Lee being in the new UFC game, any martial artist, alive or dead, who would you fight?
Steven Seagal, does he count as a martial artist?
Any thoughts?
I think we all just want to beat up Steven Seagal. I think that's what it was.
I can understand why.
Wait,
5-on-1.
Steven Seagal in his prime in the 80s or fat Steven Seagal? I'm just saying, he would have been all right in the 80s, man.
He's just moving up divisions, Forrest.
Big guy.
I've actually got a question for you, Forrest, that's come in. Someone's tweeted. Shane Agnew, who is tweeting at UFC_UK, has asked, Forrest, can you tell us the story about John McCarthy and the Tough House being on fire?
Legally, no.
Shane, we've asked the question. We're going to go straight to this guy with the what looks like a hat and a T-shirt and shorts on.
Know yourself.
Very short shorts. I appreciate that.
Question for Forrest and Jimmy. I'm just making a bet with me mate here. Who'd win an arm wrestle? On you go, Tim. Give him one. Give him an arm wrestle.
Wild guess here. Wild guess.
I would.
Can we see one though?
I don't know that it would be competitive.
Go on, just one.
In fact,
What, rather than best out of
I
three?
feel like my elbow hurts a little bit. I think I'm
Mark, I'm getting a
going
picture
to have
with
to
you.
pull out with injury.
Cub, any chance we can get a picture with you after this? Any chance we can get a picture? Yeah, you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Just come on down afterwards, boys. We're going to go back across and fire through some more questions. We've got about 20 minutes left. You, sir.
How's it going? I'm Kieran from Loud. My question is for Luke. Luke, what's your opinion on performance-enhancing drugs in the light of Shale failing for EPO and HGH? Like a lot of people would say he's a cheat, you know, in the black market in sport, including myself. What do you think?
You know, I think Chael's a great man. I do not agree with PEDs, but you know, it's a tricky situation for him. That's all I can say. I don't have that much knowledge on the situation, but I stand by Chael 100%. Not when he's taking performance-enhancing drugs, but as a man and what he's done for the sport, I think he's been fantastic.
Okay, thanks, lads.
Thank you. I think you're the only man wearing a tie except for Luke Barnett, so you fire away.
Sorry.
I was in court today, but I have a good lawyer. My question is for Forrest. Even though you're an ex-copper, we've had a few problems with coppers recently in Dublin. Listening to our telephone conversations and whatnot.
Are you in a suit because you had to go to court today?
But I'll ask the question anyway.
Please. Now I'm interested.
It's a pretty lame question, but if you had to pick one moment of your fantastic career, what would it be? What's the best moment? Come on, tell us.
Oh, no.
Bar this moment, obviously.
I think, what just happened? I think, was that lost in translation? Seriously, what are you guys talking about? I have no idea what's going on right here.
I'll translate, but not in a Dublin accent. If you had to pick one moment
in your illustrious career.
Not bad, not bad.
Bar seeing Jim Carrey in the new Dumb and Dumber movie, what would it be, sir?
I can also do Italian if you want.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Right now, I can only think of my least favorite moment, which would be this, right now, at this moment.
Touche.
I mean, I hope you guys are this loud at the fight tomorrow. I'm pretty sure you will be, though. What's with the wooing?
We're going to come across to you in just 1 second. The co-main event, gentlemen. The co-main event, very exciting fight. Gunnar Nelson against Zach Cummings. We've seen Gunnar. Everyone likes his style, that kind of karate style. We know he can go on the ground. What are you looking forward to about the fight tomorrow? Because he's backed a lot by these guys because of training out of SBG.
Well, I'm smart, and I'm picking Gunnar Nelson all the way. I could see him taking down the fight and finish him on the ground.
Okay, Luke, would you agree with that? Is it going to the ground?
I'm not very smart, and I'm looking forward to Zach Cummings knocking him out, to be honest. I'm good friends with Zach, so I can't wait to see it.
Carb, you're not allowed to say a draw.
I don't know much about Zach, and I'm a big fan of Gunnar. I think he's a good fighter.
I've been a big fan of Gunnar since before he went into the UFC, so I'm looking forward to him winning tomorrow.
Awesome. Forrest, Gunnar, Cummings, 170 pounds.
I mean, the size difference is pretty. I don't know how it was at the weigh-in, but the size difference in the wrestling is definitely on Zach's side. But I think here, especially with this crowd and this environment, and Gunnar's so slick, I think he'll probably do it. And he's the favorite by the odds guys, so those guys are usually right. So.
I mean, looking back, that division at the moment is looking really hot. I know you guys all want to promote your own division, but the welters are looking pretty good at the moment. Hendricks, GSP's talking about a comeback. We've got Matt Brown is fighting Lawler coming up soon. That's going to be a banger. Is that, for you guys in different weights, do you look at other divisions and think they're exciting, or do you think yours is always the most thrilling?
It's probably like the newest, fighter to the UFC. I've been a fan, before I started fighting. So I always look at all the weight classes. You can learn something from everybody. And, as a fan and a fighter, every single weight class is exciting, especially those little guys that don't get enough credit. They're like little ninjas moving around in there, man. So people underestimate them, but some of the things that they do is unreal.
Luke, what about you? I know you're a big student of the middleweight division for all the right reasons, but they say the welterweights have got the most zoom and boom, the balance. Would you?
I think right now the hot divisions are probably my division, the middleweight division, and probably the featherweight division. Right now, they're the ones that are getting the most traction. I watch all the fights. I'm a huge fight fan. I travel all over the world just to watch the fights. I was just in San Antonio to see this man win in the main event, and it was probably one of the most exciting fights of the night. Did you win fight of the night?
I did.
Like I say, it was the most exciting fight of the night. So you can learn, like he said, you can learn something from everybody. And I've been trying to learn how to do a cartwheel kick for about 6 months, and I'm going to collar Cub and get him to teach me later.
Okay, would you? What about you, Conor? I mean, take us away. Sorry, Cub. Take us away from. Take us away from the featherweight division. We know about that. Do you look at any other division and love to watch the heavyweights bang? Do you like the flies?
I appreciate all the divisions because they all bring something different to the table. I've always thought that 155 and 145 pounds were the best, in my opinion. But what you're saying about the welterweights being so exciting, I think when one dominant champion kind of is not there anymore, and all these guys that are just been hungry, all fighting for those scraps, that's the reason why it's so exciting.
Okay, and what about you, Jimmy? There's not really a dull fight in the top 10 of the light heavies at the moment.
No way. Light heavyweight division is very exciting right now, but I'm a fight fan as well, so I watch all the fights, all the featherweight divisions. Really exciting with Aldo and all the rest of them. So yeah, I'm a fight fan.
Just briefly on light heavy, I know you talked about coming back soon. Do you have a route, or do you see someone you really want to beat to get to a title shot?
No, I'm ranked number 11 now, so I'm looking at only top 10 fighters, and I believe I'm about 3 fights away from getting a title shot.
Okay, no, fair point. Fair point. Forrest, you just love it all.
The middleweight division is the most exciting right now because it was the dullest for so long. Rich Franklin ran it, and then Anderson Silva ran it, and you knew he was going to be the champion for a while. Right now, there's been some upset. I can think of 10 guys in that division that are really good, and that's the division right now I'm most excited to see, but obviously it changes.
Okay, thank you. We're going to come back to you guys and anyone on Twitter coming in. You with the shirt over the red T-shirt. Your name and your question, please.
My name is Henry, and I was just wondering, we've seen TJ Dillashaw completely upset Ren Barao, and we've seen Chris Weidman completely upset Anderson Silva, and they're all from the Ultimate Fighter, and this is more addressed to ex-Ultimate Fighters, but do you think that dominance is going to continue, and do you think that it's been amazing how quickly so many Ultimate Fighters have come to the very top of their divisions? Do you think that's going to go on? And your thoughts on generally how the Ultimate Fighter has impacted the UFC?
I'm very biased. I think that the Ultimate Fighter probably doesn't get enough credit.
Can we get some mics, please, Freddie?
Mic check. Here we go. I'm very biased, so I really truly believe that the Ultimate Fighter kind of prepares you, for the UFC, and it's no coincidence that there's a lot of guys becoming champions, because not only is it a physical grind that you don't really see, but it's a mental grind as well. I'm sure Luke will tell you, man, fighting 3-4 times in a 5-week notice, cutting weight, making weight, not knowing who you're fighting, when you're fighting, that just prepares you for the ups and downs that you're going to come up against in the UFC. So it kind of prepares you, for that whole obstacle course.
Yeah, it definitely makes competing in the UFC easier compared to being in the Ultimate Fighter, because like you said, fighting 3-4 times and not knowing who you're going to fight and living with them and all that sort of stuff is crazy. But I think for the Ultimate Fighter, it's great to expand new markets. I think that's what it's really there for now. The model's been around for so long. I think we really deserve an Ultimate Fighter Europe. I think we deserve that right now. And I think we're going to see it. And I think that's what the Ultimate Fighter is for. It's to bring new guys to the table from new regions that are expanding, like Ireland, So you could get a lot of Irish guys on the Ultimate Fighter, and it will really, really blow up here more than it already has. And England needs it too. Sweden needs it. The whole of Europe could really use an Ultimate Fighter.
Okay. Forrest, do you want to offer your thoughts on that question?
I mean, yeah, obviously the Ultimate Fighter's been a breeding ground for good fighters. Like you said, it's a bit of a boot camp, 6, 8 weeks, 13 weeks in one case of, you're fighting, you're getting prepared for it. It's a good way to learn the ropes. So, obviously talent comes out of it.
Okay, right, what we're going to try and do, we've got around about 15 minutes left, is just ask you guys, we want to get all of your questions in both sides, so just fire away with your name and your question, and just one each if possible, gents and ladies, so we can cover everybody. After you.
Okay, yeah. My name is Lorcan Dalton. And Forrest, everyone keeps saying it was a great fight, you and Stephan Bonner, but seriously, how does it feel to have made the UFC what it is today?
There's talent and there's luck, and I've always been lucky, and I prefer luck over talent. Be in the right place at the right time. That's the advice I give school children when I speak to them. Right place, right time.
That's what the lotto's for, but you made the UFC what it is today.
That's right. Well, what is it? Luck? Luck is opportunity and preparation. I got the luck, I got the opportunity, and I was prepared for it.
Good, well done. And Eddie, you must have said something to my sister there when you signed the photo, because she's waiting for you outside. And
I'm blushing.
And Cub.
What happened to my one question policy?
Cub.
I put it out there.
You're the next champ.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh. Straight to you. Fire away.
Yeah, how you doing? My name is Barry. I'm from Ireland, Dublin. Sorry. My question is for Forrest, and I was just wondering, what was it like retiring from the UFC? Is there much you miss and much you don't miss, like the adrenaline rush, all that kind of stuff? So I know a lot of top athletes kind of struggle a little with what to do after they finish their career.
It is a bit depressing. The biggest aspect of your life, the preparing for a fight, this is happening in 6 months, 5 months, 4 months. That's gone, So, yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, replace it with other stuff. So hopefully I'll, actually do something worthwhile at the UFC and still contribute to the sport of fighting, in a different manner, hypothetically. Or I'll just eat a lot of donuts and watch a lot of TV.
I appreciate that question. Next up with you.
Hey guys, what's up? This is my first UFC. I'm loving to be here. In 11 days, it's going to be my birthday.
Question.
My wife got me the tickets, so awesome to be here. I just got a question for you guys. Dude, this is a dream coming true. I'm so nervous, man. Okay, by the way, thanks for the autograph, okay? I just want a question about the rematch, TJ Dillashaw and Renan Barão. What do you guys think about it?
Dillashaw-Barão rematch.
Yeah.
Views?
I think TJ, he showed that he's a different level right now in that division, and he's brought a whole new fighting style to the table, so he's going to be tough to beat.
Cool, yeah.
I think TJ might win it, but I don't think it would be as one-sided. I think Barão's going to come much more prepared, and I think it will be a harder fight for TJ Dillashaw.
That's also my answer.
A shared answer. Thank you, and
welcome
welcome to the family. It's not the last time we see you, I hope. We're going to go straight to the lady who's just stepped in behind you. Please, your question.
My name's Taylor, and I'm McGregor's niece. My questions for the panel. What's your predictions for Brando's and McGregor's fight?
Well, since you're his niece, he's going to win by knockout.
Who?
McGregor.
Luke.
I think it's a very, very tough fight for Conor, but I can see him coming out on top. I think if he can use his movement and keep away from Diego for the first round, he's going to breeze out the next 3 or 4.
I think it's a real close fight. I've trained with Brandao for a long time. He's very dangerous. I think earlier rounds favor Diego, and the later rounds favor Conor.
Jimmy, how do you see it going?
I think McGregor round 3.
That's also my answer.
Okay.
We know he's going to win.
The family and the city are behind him. We're going to stick with you. Sir, your question, far away.
My question is for Forrest Griffin. I'm Patrick from Dublin.
My question is, when you beat Shogun with the rear naked choke, you did the most, I think it's the greatest dance I ever seen in the octagon.
Or the worst, but go ahead.
But why did you not do it against Rampage Jackson when you won the title?
Because I didn't finish the fight.
Thank you. We're going to come across to this mic. Man in the black shirt.
Hi, my name is Danny, and my question's for Luke, since you're so popular here. No, he's not. Exactly. The first time I seen you on Ariel Helwani's The MMA Hour, you pointed out one person who wasn't in your weight class, the one and only Mr. Conor McGregor, about his Twitter saying he's bought all his fans, and you started talking about it. I'd just like an explanation, and then to see what the crowd think.
I think...
But before you do, Forrest, I absolutely love you, and Eddie, you're an absolute machine.
Obviously a popular question, but you know, obviously I mentioned Conor's name, but I actually mentioned the management company for buying the followers. I didn't say Conor bought the followers. I said that his management company bought the followers.
You know what?
So,
you know what? In fact, he completely rescinds that as soon as he steps on Irish soil.
no, I don't. But you know, you guys have proven this week, you know, that he's got the following. He's got the followers. So, you know, it's a pretty retort comment now. You know, you guys are here making noise and shouting. So, you know.
Okay, good one.
Okay, we're going to stick to that, Mike. Step on down, fire away your question. We're going to try and speed it up so we can make sure we've got everyone in the next 10 minutes.
It's a question for Luke. You're obviously meant to be fighting Wanderlei Silva next. Just wondering, where do you think the fight will end? In your
Where do
opinion?
I think it will end? Like, as in how the fight will end, or where?
Yeah, how will it end in your opinion?
I think I've got good straight shots, and he hasn't. You know, it's I've got a very, very good style for him, and I'm long, tall, and I think I just knock him out pretty quick.
Yeah, and another thing, would you manage to have a rock, paper, scissors contest with Jimmy Manuwa?
What, me versus Jimmy?
1 round, rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Right here.
Okay, 3, 2. Okay. And then go.
Psych out. Go on, Big Slew.
Wait, I want them tested for drugs.
Okay.
I don't buy that.
Go for it. Your name and question.
How are you? My name's James. Just letting you know on the panel with the woo comments was Ric Flair look-alike over there.
Thank you.
It's not. I'm not asked.
It makes sense. Hey, wait. Do you guys know Ric Flair died like in the 90s for us? We don't. That's not a thing anymore. Wait. That's what you pick up from American culture, really?
That and Garth Brooks.
Mine's not a question. It's a call out. It's a call out first to see who'd win in down in the point. After, I'll pay for the 2. See who does. I want the apology.
So wait, no, I'm glad you asked. I'm up for that competition absolutely tonight. We're actually doing like a social media thing later, and if you follow UFC something, somebody
UFC_
the UK, we will tell you where I am, and if you find me,
and when I beat you,
I just accepted the challenge. There's no booing. I said yes.
And I want it. When I beat you, I want an apology. On social media.
Loser pays for the drinks.
Fair play, yeah. Cheers.
Okay. Gentleman here in the red T-shirt, your question.
Question for Luke. You were the head coach of the UK team at the Amateur World Championships in Vegas. I was just wondering what your opinion was on the tournament as a whole, and if it was to become an annual event, do you think it would help in the progression of amateur MMA?
100%. Good question. The World Champions, Amateur Mixed Martial Arts World Championships was a big deal this year. We did it in Vegas. We had 27 nations compete against each other, and I was there to coach the UK team and the Irish team because they didn't have a coach, so I helped them out.
Thank you very much.
So, you know, we took 6 guys there and we took home 5 medals, and it was an amazing competition, and it's going to become an annual event, I've been told. They're going to do it every single year in Vegas, and the talent that's going to come through that competition is going to be unreal.
Wait, didn't you step in because the Irish team couldn't afford to fly coaches out? Didn't you help out? This is true. What the hell? He did a good thing. He was a nice guy. You guys live on the same island. Chill out.
You know what he means.
So close.
No, they just struggled to get someone there, so I helped out with a couple of the fights. But yes, in answer, it's going to do huge things for amateur mixed martial arts, and it's going to take us forward in the sport and head towards an Olympic sport.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. That was the Canadian Forrest Griffin. You up there in the red, please.
Questions for Jimmy there. I'm just wondering, what bet did you lose to have to wear that waistcoat in here tonight?
You know what? Afterwards, why don't you just come and ask him? We'll make it work for you. You with the tie on. Two people with a tie who aren't called Luke Barnett.
How's it going?
I'll see you backstage.
How's it going? My name's Rory from Dublin.
Welcome.
Obviously, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of questions about TJ Dillashaw defeating Burrell and then Anderson Silva losing to Weidman. I'm just wanting to know what your opinion is on how good Ronda Rousey is, and do you think that there's anyone coming through in the bantamweight division that can take the title off her?
Holly Holm.
Holly Holm.
Cub took that one.
I think I'm biased, man. I think she's a stud. Like, if there was a time to beat her, it was early in her career. She's just getting better and better. She's not just arm bars now. Now she's getting knockouts, body shot finishes. She's gonna be tough to beat. Only person I would say has a chance would be Cyborg.
And if you didn't know, you've probably seen Invicta's now going to be shown on UFC Fight Pass, so we're going to see a lot more talent hopefully come through to challenge her. Your question there, please.
Well, my name's Michael. I was just wondering, if any of you could fight anybody else sitting beside you on the stage, who would you fight and why?
Forrest, kick off.
I'm glad you asked that question. I think they'd all rather fight me because, you know, I was like champ once and I was kind of like famous briefly for a moment, and I now suck at fighting. So
that's just picking on the old fella.
Biggest name recognition, smallest amount of talent. So they'd all fight me. I'd fight none of these guys. These guys are professional fighters. Hey, you know the best of professional fighters, man.
Does Jimmy have to answer that?
I'd fight Cub because he's the smallest.
Yeah, probably. But I thought before I started fighting, Forrest was like in the light heavyweight division. I knew that was the division I was going to be fighting in. So I always thought about fighting Forrest, but he left before.
So hypothetically speaking,
I got signed. Thank goodness.
Hypothetically speaking, Jimmy, you're pretty much there and thereabouts at your peak athletically. Take Forrest at his athletic peak. Who'd win a fight, and how would it end?
I'm confident in my skills, so I don't know. I believe I would, but Forrest was a great fighter. He was champion in that, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
It really doesn't matter. It just matters that I'm not going to argue with him. So yeah.
I'd have to pick our MC for the night. He's up on the stage with us. That'd be my safe bet.
He looks about 205 as well.
I think I got you.
We're going to try and get through all of you guys, so if we can just ask no one else to join now. Thank you. Any Twitter questions you want to fire to the guys, look them up. It'll be great, and they will fire back answers. But if we finish off with this row and then wrap it up, because these guys have been working super hard, genuinely, all day. So you, please.
Hello, Irish boy on Twitter. I want to ask Eddie there, what's the story with your T-shirt?
This says legalize MMA in New York because we have way too many champions that live in New York, and it's honestly a travesty for us not to be able to fight our hometown. I would love the honor and privilege, just like Conor McGregor has and all the other great Irish fighters, to fight in my hometown, Nassau Coliseum, Madison Square Garden. Let's get the politics out and get this thing legalized.
Woo! Straight back to you, please, on the other mic.
Oh yeah, I'm Chris from Tipperary. My question is for the 205ers. To Jimmy first, if you were to fight when Forrest was fighting, when they were trading titles, nearly every title fight, or now where you're obviously looking to find a pathway back to be a contender again?
So you're asking would he have preferred to fight now or then when he would have had more?
When Forrest was fighting, when they were every title fight there was a new.
So basically pre-John Jones era.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
basically.
you want to
yeah.
fight in the UFC pre-John Jones era?
I think it was a lot more exciting back then because we had Tito Ortiz, we had Rampage, we had Forrest Griffin.
Chuck.
Who else? There was loads
Keith
of
Jardine,
great
okay,
fighters,
keep
and
going,
it was
keep
a lot exciting, so probably back then.
Okay, thanks for your question.
Sure.
Red T-shirt.
This is for Luke. I'm surprised nobody actually asked this yet, but you said some pretty messed up stuff, some disrespectful stuff about our country, and I'd like an old explanation for that, you know, and maybe an apology on, you know, for all of us here.
I don't know about an apology, but
What?
you know,
Something about us being
this
poor.
is the thing about this. Yeah, there was some. There was some
Good.
comments that were made, but do you know where those comments were made?
You said something about UK should be a part of the Ireland should be part of the UK because nobody knows what it is. It's a dump.
No, I did not say that. I
And
never
you
said
said
that.
you
I never
had
said that.
more money in your bedroom than our country, so we're apparently poor.
That is what I said, and I said it on a comedy podcast that was on MMA Roasted, which is a comedy podcast. I made a joke about our nations. We've been telling jokes about Ireland, and you've been telling jokes about England my whole life. So it's just a bit of fun, you know. You know, there's banter between our nations, and I was just having fun on a podcast.
I got my explanation.
Okay, we're going to go to you in the stripes, please.
How you doing? I'm Joe from County Meath. I was just wondering, there's a lot of talk in the media about how there's so many fight cards these days and that it's harder and harder for any individual fighter to stand out. I was just wondering, maybe for the active fighters, do you think that that is the case, or is it the more fight cards, the better?
I'll take this one. There is more fighters employed by the UFC now than there has ever been. More people making a living and feeding their families. So bring on the cards. Let's get more cards, more money for the guys, and get our sport moving.
Cheers.
Thank you. We're going to stick with that microphone. You, sir.
David from Dublin, and this is for Forrest. A lot of people view Anderson Silva as the best fighter in UFC history. When you were fighting him, what was going through your head when you were looking at him?
I was hoping that would come up twice. The once was like, whatever, but twice, hell yeah.
What was going through your head when you were looking at him the other side of the ring? And did you honestly think you could beat him?
You know what?
I'll
be honest with you.
Because I mean, at the
personally,
time, he was like,
I really thought mistakenly that I could like grind him and make him bleed and make him hurt and make him. I was an idiot to think that.
Cheers.
Can I just very briefly build on that? As you have faced him and he's so unorthodox, how do you prepare for a fighter? And this, I guess, is going to help us all understand the sport. How do you prepare for a fighter who is that unorthodox?
I'm really not the guy you should ask. I didn't do it well.
But you prepared.
Not well. I failed to prepare it. No, we were talking about Jones and how does Gustafsson prepare for a guy like Jones, who spinning elbows, heel kicks, stuff that people usually don't do in sparring. It's poor etiquette. And guys today like Cub even and Pettis, they've changed the game. They're hard guys to prepare for a Machida. So I think that's something that we've seen a lot of is even Colin McGregor, a very unique style that's hard to prepare for, Like, what the hell is he even doing? It looks like he's trying to moonwalk. What? And then he kicked you in the face. So.
Thank you. You in the black T-shirt, please.
Ross from Dublin. First of all, Cub, hopefully next time you're over, you're fighting in Croker against Conor for the title. My question is for Jimmy and Luke. Would you be willing to coach tough Ireland v England?
100%.
You're on then.
150%. Yeah, 100%. I've been shouting for it forever. Like I said, let's get it done.
Okay, thank you. Back across to you. We got 5 more questions. You, sir.
Hi, this is out to everyone. Out of all the current champions that are out there, who do you think is at most risk for losing their title? For me, I think Cain Velasquez. I do think Verdum's going to win, but you never know. Who do you all think?
Who do you think is most likely to use their title in the next fight? So we got.
I think Johnny Hendricks.
Okay. Forrest.
Oh, do I have to answer that? I don't want to. Maybe. It's a good question. Maybe TJ Dillashaw, maybe Kane. I was thinking about Verdum has a great necktie and knees to the head. Kane's about the right size to knee to the head. I don't know that it'll happen, but it's something to consider if you're betting on a long shot. If you're trying to make some money that way. The TJ Barao fight that maybe maybe something tragic happened to Barao like the week before. He had the worst cut ever. We don't know. That's the cool thing about the sport is it's very unpredictable. So basically, I have no idea.
Okay, we're actually, just because of time, thank you for your question. We want to get these last 4 guys in. So the man behind you in the green.
How you doing? Mike from Mayo. Just wondering, thank you, clarification. Matt Hughes says in his autobiography that Lee Murray knocked out Tito on the street in Manchester. Did it happen? Anybody?
I heard that was true.
That'll do. Straight back to you, the man with the...
He slipped. He was injured. He had leather sole shoes on. He'd recently suffered some sort of traumatic injury.
Hi, my name is Peter from Kildare. My question's for Cub. Cub, I'm just wondering, I heard a lot of stories about yourself and Conor getting in a lift together there recently, and Conor told you they only flew you over so you could see a real #1 contender. My question is, did that really happen? And if it did, what was going through your head and what did you say back to him?
I tried to give him some advice, and I told him, hey, man, just concentrate on your fight. You got a tough one coming up. And he didn't want to listen to my advice.
And if I had went a step further and the two of you had got fisticuffs in there, who would have exited the lift alive?
That's between me and him.
Yeah, and he would have, I think. One more question, sorry, just for Forrest. Forrest, you tweeted earlier on that your bedroom neighbours in the hotel room beside you were having a bit of a row. Did you ever find out what that was about?
No, I didn't. I actually should have asked.
You should have done the decent thing and went in.
I should have said, hey, you guys need anything, and did you know that sex is the best way to solve an argument?
With them or with you?
Wait, I haven't seen the neighbors. I just heard them.
You should have done the decent thing and went in and sorted it out. I'm ashamed of you.
Okay, we're going to come to you.
Matthew from South Wales. My question's for Jimmy. Big fan. You mentioned earlier on that you had 3 fights that you would like, or you thought you had 3 fights to get to the title. What would be your ideal 3 opponents to get to that title?
I don't know. If you know me, I never call out names or anything, so anyone in the top 10, anyone.
Just anyone.
Let me ask it another way around. Do you want to rematch with Gustafsson, whether or not he wins against Jones?
Probably not, because I'm going to be training with him after. So, anyone in the top 10.
Okay. And so it comes to the end. We have one more question. This gentleman has been incredibly patient. Please tell us your name and who your question is for.
Name is Adam. Just a question for Cub. Follow you on Instagram a bit, and I know you're a big fan of golf. Just wondering where you played the other day, and if you have an hour or 2 tomorrow morning for a game of 9 holes, if you're interested. My treat.
I've been thinking about it. I played a city course by the airport. I can't remember the name, like Salong or...
Salog.
Yeah.
Salog, yes.
Yeah, I played with some guys, Neil Series' coach, his brother, and I just met a guy named Sharky. They were all cool. And then after we had a few pints, and then I begged them to stop feeding me alcohol and let me go home.
Good man. So is it a yes or no tomorrow for 9 holes?
If the weather's better and I'm not hungover, I possibly will come play with you.
We'll be hungover. I'll go with you. Thanks.
Awesome.
Okay.
Guys, we can't do these Q&As, and we certainly can't get a conversation going on Twitter without all of you. So from us, a massive thank you from the UFC. But before we go, guys who have been genuinely working hard to promote the sport, promote themselves, and entertain us all, please give it up for Eddie, for Luke, for Cub, for Jimmy, and for Forrest. All the action begins tomorrow night, 5:30 Dublin time, right here at the O2. You know what the main event is all about. My name's Andy Friedlander. Thank you again for joining us.